I'm Metal Matt. I'm at the Toyota Pavilion at Concord for a very special moment. The Pavilion's turning 50. It's amazing, this venue in the foothills of Concord. I've had many great moments, including my graduation from high school in 1983, and I produced CC Rock and hosted it in this facility for 10 years with lots of great bands like Bad Company, The Scorpions, Motley Crue. I've got a lot of great historical footage of this venue, including the reconstruction back in the mid-90s and some great sound bites from the key members of the staff back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. So sit back and relax. It's going to be a great walk down memory lane at the Toyota Pavilion at Concord.
The summer festival demonstrated the need for a larger, permanent performing arts facility in Concord. In 1973, a joint venture between the City of Concord and the Mount Diablo Unified School District was made. The city asked numerous architects to develop and present plans for the Concord Pavilion. Frank Gehry was selected to be the architect. And on May 16, 1975, the pavilion opened its doors for the first time for a benefit concert sponsored by the Concord Jazz Festival featuring Henry Mancini and Sarah Vaughan. Carl Jefferson was there, and he remembers it well.
It was Sarah Vaughan was opening night with Henry Mancini. Oh, it was an exciting night, and I'm from Concord where the pavilion is and so forth. Everybody's proud of something good.
John Toffoli Jr., Director of Leisure Services for the City of Concord, helped the funding and building of the pavilion and became the general manager.
The Concord Pavilion was opened in 1975 as a place to enrich our lives and those of our children. And it's certainly succeeded in that over the past 15 or 16 years.
Well, when you work for John Toffoli, John was hired from Richmond and he was brought over here to form an arts department because Concord didn't have that. So Bud Stewart, who's the city manager then, brought John over, and that was his job, and he did. But little did we know he was this dreamer, this person with great ideas, and he didn't want to be bothered with the small stuff. Or he would develop an idea and then throw it at all of us in the department and leave it up to us to try to make it happen. That happened not only with the Jazz Festival. We did swim meets. We did softball tournaments, major tournaments. We did golf tournaments. We did all kinds of stuff because of him, because he was this visionary. And I think that's why him and Carl Jefferson hit it off so well, because Jeff was the same thing. He was a visionary as well.
This is a remarkable feat for the City of Concord, for John Toffoli and his staff, that this place was so cleverly done, and how it was by a nationally known architect. Everything about it with John. Now, John's responsible for what exists up there. I had something to do with promoting it, but the credit is due to John and his staff for operating that facility. It's amazing, really.
Oh, I know. I agree.
That commercial cost me a lot. I want you to know.
But what John wanted, he wanted to have everything that he could possibly have here. So the community would at least have a chance to see it, to see something. And believe me, we did everything you can imagine here. I mean, we had one-ring circus. We had professional wrestling, boxing. We did Broadway plays, the symphonies, the ballets. And what happened was, as we evolved after a couple of years of operation, we saw that the dynamics were changing on city council, because you're always subject to the council's opinion, right? So we started seeing that the finances became a little more important. Concord wasn't really interested in underwriting these special events. So John found himself in a awkward position that he's going to have to start doing shows that maybe he didn't like hard rock and roll, acids. I mean, he didn't like that stuff, right? But we had to start creating a balance that those shows would pay for some of the shows, like the symphony. I mean, when we would have the San Francisco Symphony here, it would cost a bloody fortune. And quite frankly, sometimes they didn't do very well. And even the Concord Jazz Festival didn't do as well as it did in the park. because now it was competing with some of the major pop shows, the middle of the road or what have you.
The original Concord Pavilion was designed as a symphony hall and to also host the Concord Jazz Festival. So when the money for the symphony wasn't bringing enough revenue in to support the operation, concerts were starting to be brought in, and subsequently a lot of the shows that arrived would come up with their van or their truck and try to figure out how to put this equipment into a symphony hall. It was a challenge. And so my job was sort of straighten that out. I had a lot of road experience, a lot of traveling. Prior to coming to the Pavilion, I did 7 years on the road traveling with various groups. So I knew it from the artist's perspective coming in and trying to help them understand how to fit their show into this building. So it was a tough time, and ultimately we had to change. Otherwise those artists weren't going to come back. So that's what caused the expansion or the remodel of the building to occur.
It's really exciting, and I think the most important thing is that the pavilion didn't change that much. It's still intimate. It's still what it was the 21 years before.
There's still sometimes you come in here and it rumbles around a little bit. You can still hear the guitar solo from last week's concert floating around inside of here. But it's for an amphitheater, it's fantastic, and it's a model amphitheater for the country. It's quite an honor for Concord to have a building like this. There's a lot of cities that would die to have a pavilion in their city with the attention that it brings to the community.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this historical look at the Toyota Pavilion at Concord, an amazing amphitheater here in the foothills of Contra Costa County. I love coming to concerts here. Great sight lines, great sound, great views. Hey, thank you to Live Nation for making this video happen. Couldn't have done it without you, Aaron. And to all the other sponsors we've had to make this video reality. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.